and crumpled.
Yet what this instant revealed shocked many, catching even us off guard. Watch it replayed, slowed as Beyonce lowers herself beside Molly Meldrum. Fabric creases, silence thickens, consequences.
Beyonce is faking her baby bump after the singer appeared on an Australian TV show.
Bumpgate went viral.
Now you kind of look at him like scoundrels. What won't you do for that damn career? Listen, this is a disgusting business. That's all I'm going to say. This business is so disgusting that I can't. I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce are master manipulators of—
Get closer. Get closer. Because now it finally makes sense why Wendy Williams was pushed aside and trapped inside a guardianship. Allegedly, it all traces back to her daring to expose Beyonce, accusing her of wearing a staged pregnancy bump. Think back to that infamous moment when Beyonce's stomach visibly collapsed on live television while she was said to be pregnant with Blue Ivy. Wendy was among the very few bold enough to question it publicly, and for that, she was slowly erased from the industry. Whispers claim Beyonce never carried Blue at all. The pregnancy allegedly belonged to Jay-Z's mistress. And here's the chilling part. She was reportedly found dead just days before Beyonce announced she had given birth. Baby, this rabbit hole runs far deeper than anyone expected. And we're about to plunge straight into it. Alright, so as everyone's noticed, Beyonce and Jay-Z have been under non-stop scrutiny lately, especially after Jay-Z's name surfaced in the Epstein files. That revelation sent people digging, desperate to uncover what else the power couple may have buried. And baby, the evidence is ugly, especially when it comes to what allegedly happened to Wendy Williams. It all traces back to 2011, when Beyonce appeared on an Australian television program for an interview. During the sit-down, something bizarre happened. As she lowered herself into the chair, the bump meant to hold Blue Ivy visibly flattened, warped, and folded in front of millions watching at home. Despite this unfolding live, Beyonce's camp somehow convinced the public to doubt their own eyes. Her team responded by circulating a photo of Beyonce in a bikini, supposedly pregnant. But when you really look at it, she just appears slightly bloated. Plenty of women look like that every day. Does that automatically mean pregnancy? Exactly. But there was one person who refused to accept that explanation: Wendy Williams. The very next day, Wendy aired the clip on her show, replaying it in slow motion again and again so viewers could see it clearly. This wasn't editing trickery. It looked just as alarming as people remembered. Beyonce's team was scrambling, but Wendy doubled down. She refused to back off. She even compared it to her own pregnancy, explaining that when she was expecting, sitting was uncomfortable, speaking was difficult, and her stomach certainly didn't crumple like paper. Unless, of course, Beyonce had been patting the bump while someone else carried the child, and Wendy didn't stop there. She also referenced Jay-Z's rumored mistress, Kathy White, who was reportedly pregnant during that same period. Though Wendy never said Kathy's name outright, everyone already knew exactly who she meant. She went even further, suggesting Kathy was acting as a surrogate, and that Beyonce allegedly planned to claim the baby as her own and present Blue Ivy as if she had carried and delivered her herself.
Beyonce's pregnancy is a way of keeping Jay-Z's alleged mistress away. Beyonce's going to use a surrogate so she can maintain her body, but they're going to play it off like it's allegedly, that they gave birth.
Oh, and Wendy wasn't exaggerating about Beyonce allowing only 3 people in the room during her supposed delivery, because that part is confirmed. The twist is, it wasn't a home birth like Wendy speculated. Instead, reports claim Beyonce paid over $1.3 million to secure the entire hospital floor where she was allegedly giving birth. So the real question becomes, what was Beyonce hiding that required spending $1.3 million to isolate an entire wing? Keep in mind, other women delivered babies that same day, yet they were relocated to different sections of the hospital. And here's the part that raised eyebrows: their newborns were still kept on the floor Beyonce had allegedly locked down with that $1.3 million payment. The husband of one of those women later spoke out, furious. He said the situation was handled horribly. These were babies in intensive care, vulnerable infants, and suddenly a celebrity takeover displaced families like they didn't matter. He said, "I know they spent $1.3 million, and I'm just a contractor from Bed-Stuy, but how we were treated was unacceptable." His wife had just undergone a C-section and delivered twins. She was in pain, overwhelmed, and devastated. He said no family deserved that kind of chaos during such a fragile moment. Now circling back to Kathy White, her story took a dark turn immediately after Beyonce supposedly gave birth. Kathy was found dead soon after. According to the official autopsy, her cause of death was listed as a brain aneurysm. But many believe that report was manipulated, allegedly influenced by Jay-Z himself. The public hasn't accepted that explanation. People began breaking down the dates, lining up the timeline of Kathy's death with Blue Ivy's birth, and the overlap felt far too precise to ignore. Then in 2024, Beyonce released her song Daughter, which many listeners now believe sounds less like art and more like a confession, one that hints at taking Kathy's life and claiming Blue Ivy immediately after.
Allegedly, the song Daughter on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album, it's potentially a murder confession about Jay-Z's mistress, Kathy.
So what people are really arguing is that Kathy acted as Beyonce and Jay-Z's surrogate, and once Kathy delivered Blue, Beyonce allegedly erased her and claimed the child as her own. That theory clicks for many because it also explains why Blue resembles Beyonce so strongly, even though she was supposedly carried by Kathy. People have also resurfaced a chilling, unsettling poem from Beyonce's song Anger, where she describes the extreme lengths she'd go to keep her man, including haunting, violent imagery aimed at a former lover tied to her husband.
If it's what you truly want, I can wear her skin over mine, her hair over mine, her hands as gloves, her teeth as confetti, her scalp a cap, her sternum my bedazzled cane. We can pose for a photograph, all three of us, immortalized. You and your perfect girl.
As if the chaos hadn't already peaked, Jaguar Wright suddenly entered the conversation, and she came swinging with zero restraint.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the f was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is f***ing you. And the boss's boss don't get no f***. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get f***ed over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere. Which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties. To walk mother out! Cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come. You Sean.
Hey man.
Weirdo. Oof. I don't get no what you got in your head, that Neuralink. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have done a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why?
Sadly for Wendy, the fallout didn't stop there because she was the one who cracked everything open and let the secret spill. And for that bold move, the backlash was ruthless. People later realized that almost immediately after Wendy publicly challenged Beyonce, her health began to spiral. Out of nowhere, she was collapsing on live television, drifting in and out of rehab facilities. Wells Fargo placed her under a guardianship she allegedly never required. Her condition seemed to worsen, while a suspicious guardian isolated her from her family for years. It wasn't until recently that the narrative finally cracked. Evidence surfaced proving Wendy wasn't even sick. TMZ reported that Wendy completed multiple neurological evaluations conducted by a highly respected, unnamed neurologist in New York. His conclusion was shocking. Wendy did not have the condition that had trapped her in a guardianship for so long. Now the truth is surfacing, and people are racing to connect the dots. One person said, "I truly believe something was done to Wendy. I wouldn't be shocked if Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyonce were connected to what's happening to her. I pray for Wendy." Another added, "It's strange how Wendy suddenly became so sick after exposing powerful celebrities and high-profile figures." Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Wendy falling ill right after calling out Beyonce? And do you really believe Beyonce and Jay-Z played a role in it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.